Yes, it's tackle part of it. The club activity and what we are at the science club. We watch the coordinator of that group. He has behind him the students who are ready to see what he's doing. We may not want to let the cat out of the bag. So we are promising you, if you stay tuned, you will see what is going to be presented this afternoon. Watching closely, attentively, the students. Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
What are we here for this afternoon?
We are here this afternoon to demonstrate the magnetic effect of electric current.
Magnetic effect of electric
Magnetic effect of electric current. So we are going to show how a magnet can be produced from electricity. An electromagnet.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this show. Today we are going to be illustrating the magnetic effect of electric current. To start with, we need a cable, a piece of wire. We call this a Eureka wire. It is quite tiny. From a distance, it appears to be transparent, but it is not, as you can see. This is a Eureka wire. We need a ferromagnetic material. As you see. This is a material that is strongly attracted to a magnet, like soft iron. This one comes from a transformer. Before I go into the experiment, I would like us to review the theory behind electromagnetism. And I'll ask some from 5 students here to help. What is an electromagnet? What is an electromagnet?
What is an electromagnet? Question is to you from 5 students. Don't tell me you are going to disgrace yourself.
From 5 students, what is an electromagnet? Dr. Jerry, what do you understand by an electromagnet? Move forward. Move forward. Yes.
An electromagnet.
Look at the camera.
An electromagnet, normally, if I want to describe it, it is designed, or it is a system, it is designed such that it uses a soft ferromagnetic material with a solenoid, a coil wrapped on it, such that when currents flow through it, it becomes magnetized. And when once the current is off, or when the switch is off, it becomes demagnetized.
Yes, that's good. So from what you have said, an electromagnet can be switched on and can be switched off. So an electromagnet is a magnet that is powered by electricity. It is a magnet that can be turned on and turned off by electricity. It is a magnet that derives its magnetic field from electrical energy. So if we define an electromagnet, this will be an accurate definition. It is a transducer. An electromagnet is a transducer that uses the magnetic effect of electric current to change electrical energy to magnetic energy. Let's look at a brief history of this idea of electromagnetism. In about 1820, Christian Hans Ørsted discovered that when electric current flows through a conductor, it was an accidental discovery. He was a professor of physics. When passing current through a cable and a compass was near, discovered that the compass needle moved, that the compass needle was deflected. So that was his discovery in 1820. Since then, many devices have been constructed which rely on the principle of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is the relationship between magnetism and electricity. Electricity can be made from magnetism, and magnetism can be made from electricity. So how do you make an electromagnet? Any current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field. Is that understood? Any conductor in which electric current is flowing produces a magnetic field. So around a wire in which current is flowing, there will be a magnetic field. But you can increase the magnetic field produced by making the wire into several turns. If you coil it into several turns to form a coil, you will increase the strength of the magnetic field. That's not all. You cannot coil it on wood. You can't coil it on wood. You have to coil it on a magnetic material, a soft ferromagnetic material, like soft iron. If you look at this soft iron comes from the core of a transformer. So we are going to wrap this wire on the soft iron. When you wrap the wire on the soft iron will now be acting as an electromagnet as long as current is in the wire. So the soft iron simply helps to increase the strength of the magnet plate. It helps to increase the strength of the magnet because it has a high permeability. This soft iron has a high permeability. So it increases the magnetic field that this coil is normally supposed to produce. So this is what we are going to start with. We are going to remove the insulation at the tip of this wire. So we need a flame. As you can see, it is burning. This wire is insulated. You may think that it is bare. It is not. The wire is insulated. So we have removed the insulation by burning it. There's a plastic on this wire, very thin plastic. So by burning it, you remove the insulation at the tip. But we are not going to remove the insulation on the other part of the wire. So we now use it to make a coil on this soft iron. So if you see, we have put up to 3 soft iron slides. These are the laminate. So we say that this is a laminated core because it is layer. You have 3 layers, 1, 2, 3. So we say it is laminated. And this is in order to reduce AC current. So this is the one student to come. Allegiance. We will have that. This one. Why is wrapping? I would like for 5 students to tell me how we can increase the strength of an electromagnet. How can we increase the strength of an electromagnet? Yes, Jerry?
You can increase the strength of the electromagnet by increasing the current or by increasing the number of turns.
Yes, we can increase the strength of an electromagnet by increasing the current or by increasing the number of turns. Now we are going to demonstrate how it works. You can allow it at that point. So as you see, this is what you do. You make as many turns as possible. When you do that, we call it a solenoid. A solenoid is a coil of several turns. For example, 1,000 turns. You have enough patience to see here from morning to evening and coil it, maybe just 100,000 turns. Then the better. You come out with a very strong electromagnet. This is what I did yesterday. I took over 20 minutes to coil. So this is an electromagnet. We are going to show how it works. So this is a switch. This is a 6-volt battery. Is that alright? The power supply, the source of electrical energy. Now, we have to connect the electromagnet to the power supply. An electromagnet has no polarity. It means I can connect it to any terminal of the battery. Is that understood? It has no positive or no negative. You can connect it to any terminal. But the direction in which you connect it will determine the north and south pole. From 5 p.m. to tell you that you use the right hand grip rule. Huh? Okay, so this is an electromagnet. Presently, if you look at the switch, it is off. The switch is off, as you see. We can switch it on. Please observe what will happen. See, is it attracting this soft iron? Is it attracting it? It is not attracting the soft iron because it is not a magnet. This is a magnetic material and not a magnet. But we want to turn on electric current in this coil. Now we have to turn on the current. Are you seeing? So it has been attracted. So this is now a magnet because current is flowing in it. It is a magnet. So we can switch it off. An electromagnet can be turned on and turned off using an electric current. So this is an electromagnet. Magnet produced with electricity. Is it understood? So an electromagnet can be made by placing a soft ferromagnetic material in a solenoid. A solenoid is a coil of several turns, an insulated coil of several turns. So if you place a solenoid if you place a soft ferromagnetic material in a solenoid, the solenoid becomes an electromagnet. This phenomenon once more was discovered by Hans Christian Ørsted in about 1820. You understood? Today, what are the applications of an electromagnet? What are some of the uses of an electromagnet? Because we can't be studying these things if it's not useful to us. What are some of the uses of an electromagnet? Compared to the report to define your title. Define your title. What are the uses of an electromagnet? I get more than 10 uses. Yes? Come forward. Come forward, please. Let's listen to her, yes? Yes, an electromagnet is making a compass. An electromagnet, not a terminal magnet, yes? Used in separation of magnetic material from non-magnetic material. We call that electromagnetic separator. They are used in electromagnetic separator. If you go to a copper mine, please, if you go to a copper mine, that's where copper is being mined. The copper ore is separated from iron using an electromagnet. Is it understood? In a copper mine, we use electromagnetic separator to separate the copper ore from impurities like iron. Is it understood? Yes, the other impurities like iron. That's just one used in electromagnetic separator. Yes? They are also used in electric bell. Yeah, electromagnets are used in electric bell. You have an armature. You have a core, a soft ferromagnetic core on which is one several turns of wire, several hundred turns. When electric current flows through, it is magnetized and it attracts what we call a hammer. This hammer strikes on a gong before you get the sound. An electric bell is designed to be an unstable. It means that when it is off, you want to be on. When it's on, you want to be off. That's why it keeps ringing. Is it understood? Yes, this is electric bell. Yes, some electric motors use electromagnets. Yes? Yes, electric lock. If you go to modern buildings, the science has made the watch be very comfortable. You just need to press a button and the door opens. You press another button, the door locks. So electric locking system uses an electromagnet. Is it understood? Yes, an electric lock uses an electromagnet. Another use. You have not exhausted the uses, please. Other uses of electromagnet. You have not exhausted the usage. They are used in the electromagnetic relay. This is a type now in a car. These are electromagnetic relay, 12-volt relay. It controls other, like the bulb. The bulb has a relay that switches the bulb. There's a relay that switches that starts the car. There's a relay for the horn and so on. So the circuits in a car are switched using relay. What is a relay? What is an electromagnetic relay? A relay is a switch that uses a small current. It's an electromagnetic switch that uses a small current to turn on or turn off a large current. Or it is an electromagnetic switch that uses a small voltage, a low voltage, to turn on a high voltage. So you find relays in cars. It is used even in switching an X-ray machine. The voltage in an X-ray machine can be as high as 50 kilovolts. At such voltage, we use the normal switch. This is the manual switch that we use at home. We have to use this type of switch. We will be electrocuted. At a voltage of 50 kilovolts, this is no more an insulator, please. At a voltage of 50 kilovolts, this is no more an insulator, which means that if you touch it, you will receive a shock. So if we use a relay, because this relay, for example, can be turned on with 12 volts. So 12 volts is harmless. You can easily press a switch that is connected to a 12 volt supply. Then a switch that is connected to a 50 kilovolt supply. So that is the application. A relay is used in areas where the voltage is very high. We use relay. Where the current is extremely high, relays are used. There are several types. This one is found in a car. This is a smaller one. If you open a TV, you will see a relay. Some radio receivers have relays. Most devices have relays. Rockets which are sent by scientists to space, we are able to see pictures. We are able to see pictures of Mars. Has any scientist ever gone to Mars? Yes, man has never been to Mars. We have been to the moon, but not to Mars. So we have pictures of Mars. There are video cameras in the satellite, in the spacecraft, which take pictures in the rocket. Those video cameras are controlled. They are switched on and off using systems like that. They use radio waves, which go and switch transistor circuits which are connected to relay. You see what that? So a transistor circuit cannot take a voltage of 25 volts, for example. It cannot take more than 25 volts. Most will take about 12 volts, 15 volts, 20 volts. But a relay will take such a voltage. So if you want to use a transistor switch to switch on a bulb, for example, a 220 watt mains operated bulb, 220 volt mains operated bulb, 100 watt, 220 volts, you need a relay. The transistor will switch the relay, and then the relay will switch the bulb. So those are some of the applications of a relay. If you look at the playhead of a cassette player, you look at the playhead. The playhead is a kind of electromagnet. You understand? The playhead is a kind of electromagnet. When you are recording information, you want to tape what you tape. You want to record information on a tape. The playhead acts as an electromagnet. Information is recorded as tiny bits of magnet at the frequency at which you are speaking. If you are speaking very fast, the information will be recorded at a fast rate. If you are speaking slowly, it will be recorded slowly. Is that understood? So information is recorded on a tape, a magnetic tape, in the form of tiny magnet. In the form of tiny magnet. So the playhead of a cassette player acts as an electromagnet. Robots. In robots, you have electromagnet. This is a simple robotic system that I've made illustrated here. This is just like a robot in industry, where you can attract material from one end of the industry to the other, one end of the company to the factory to the other, like that. So in a company, you can use electromagnet to lift up heavy pieces of iron. Very heavy pieces of iron can be lifted using powerful electromagnet. Finally, I would like to know what the advantage, because somebody may ask, why not just use a feminine magnet? What are the advantages? What advantages as an electromagnet over a feminine magnet? Yes, hearing?
It is advantageous in the sense that when electric current starts to do it becomes magnetized. That is, it is easily to be magnetized and also easily to demagnetize. The feminine magnet, it is difficult to magnetize and difficult to demagnetize. Means that, like in the case of in the carriers, if it is magnetized and it is difficult to demagnetize, if it attracts pieces of iron and it is at the time that you have to off so that it drops it or dumps it somewhere, it will be difficult, since it will be difficult for it to be demagnetized.
Exactly. He said that the advantage is that with an electromagnet you can switch it on, you can switch it off. So that in the case of separating magnetic material from non-magnetic material, we have to attract it like what we are doing here. You attract the magnetic material and drop it here. If this was a terminal magnet, will it drop? It will not. So you need a kind of magnet that can switch on and switch off. That's what he's saying. What other advantage? That's not all. There's another advantage. Even which is equally very important. Let's look at the strength. Which one is more powerful? An electromagnet or a terminal magnet of a particular size? Which one is more powerful? It's an electromagnet because the strength can be increased by increasing the current. You can increase the strength by increasing the current. If we use a 12-volt battery here, will the power remain the same? The power is going to increase. The power is going to increase, so we can increase the strength simply by increasing the current. Is it understood? So we say that an electromagnet will usually have a higher power than the terminal magnet of the same size. Is it understood? These are the two advantages of an electromagnet over a terminal magnet. One, an electromagnet can be turned on and turned off using electric current. Therefore, we can use it as magnetic separators and in other applications and in lifting material, like in robotics, where you can use a robot to lift up a piece of iron from one part of the company to the other. Two, an electromagnet, the strength of an electromagnet can be increased and can be decreased using electric current. So these are the advantages of an electromagnet over a terminal magnet. Once you have designed your electromagnet, it is important to know the current that the electromagnet takes. So you need a meter. You need a meter, which is a multimeter. It measures current, voltage, resistance. It even measures polarity. So you can measure the current that the electromagnet takes. In that case, you set it to the point where you can easily measure the current. In order to measure the current, you connect the negative terminal, which is what? Black of your metal, to the negative terminal of the battery, and the positive terminal of the battery. If you look at the meter indicates that the current is 0.03 amps. That's the current that this electromagnet takes, 0.03 amperes. So you can calculate the power of your electromagnet now that you know the current. In order to calculate the power, you are supposed to measure the voltage also. Measure the voltage. To measure the voltage across the electromagnet, you connect the voltmeter in parallel. The voltmeter is connected in parallel with the electromagnet, as you see. It's connected across the terminals of the electromagnet. Look at the terminal. You connect the voltmeter across the terminals of the electromagnet. And if you do that, you see that the voltage is 6.65 volts. 6.65 volts. Now I'll ask the Form 5 student to do the calculation. The current that the electromagnet takes is The current that the electromagnet takes is 0.03 amps. 0.03 amps. And the voltage is 6.65 volts. The power is current and voltage. So give us the power, current and voltage.
So the voltage is what? 0.
The voltage is 6.65 volts. 6.65 volts, current 0.03 amps.
0.20 watts.
0.20 watts. So the power of our electromagnet is 0.2 watts. That's a very small power. So in an industry, the type of electromagnet used in an industry may have a power of even 1 kilowatt, 1,000 watts. That's the electromagnet that can carry a piece of iron which is as large as this table. Bring it there, it attract it and take it to a different position. That's the type used in lifting cars. Is that true? Yes, in Serbia you can lift cars using powerful electromagnet. Any question? Any question on what we've done so far? Are there any questions? If you have a question, you are free to ask. If there are no questions, we are going to wrap up if there are no questions. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. It has been marvelous, and I want to believe the students have gained something. See you next Wednesday when we have another show.
Thank you very much. But before going, let me teach one of your students. Yes, Jerry. You say that one of the uses of or the applications of electromagnetism is in electric door locks. You know what that means? Now, what will happen in a situation where you lock your house, you are inside, and then the current ceases? So do you think you will remain inside?
In the case of that, in fact, but how do you get into your house that you lock the door outside before the current?
No, I mean, if you open the door, enter inside, and then the current goes off when you must have locked it.
Anyway, I don't think normally you have to wait for the current.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe your teacher will help you.
Yes, I think you are right. You are right. From the way you have answered Elias, but what I must say is these electric door locks are installed in modern buildings, and modern buildings have backup systems. Modern buildings have backup the UPS on uninterruptible power supply system, so that when there is power failure, the backup is off. There may be a backup just for the lock, so that people should not be caught in case of power failure. But we must also remember that about 2 years ago when there was power failure in USA, first time in 50 years when there was power failure, many people were trapped on lifts, electric lifts. In story buildings, they were trapped, they were unable to move up or move down, they were trapped there until the power returned. So they were unable to move. So in that case, as you have said, if there is no backup, you have no other option like to stay in the house. Unless you want to break the door or maybe go through the roof.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Maybe one more. Who would like to be teached? Yes, I think you can speak some good English. How funny would it sound if somebody comes to your house? You have invited somebody to come and install current in your house, and the person comes and is trying to press the electric doorbell to alert you to come that he has come. Did you understand? You have invited somebody to come to Taco to install electricity in your house. Meaning that, I don't want to say it that way. He's installing the electricity, meaning that it was not there. And then he comes and is pressing the electric doorbell at the door. How funny does it sound as a civics student? Can you say why it looks funny as a civics student?
It looks funny because there's nobody to answer.
There's nobody to answer.
No.
The person is coming to.
You have got somebody to go and install electricity and he comes by pressing this bell. Is it why? That's the question they are asking. Is it why to the person to when you keep coming to put electricity, gives you electricity?
How funny does it sound? Yes.
It's funny because the person not supposed to press the doorbell because there's no electricity in the house.
So what you are saying that without electricity, since to function. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I will proceed.
Please,